Hello, my name is Shawn Lamb, and one of the most common questions asked of an author is, how did you get your start? Well, my start actually dates back to the mid 1980s. When I met my husband Rob, he was a staff writer at Filmation Studios. And one of the things we both had in common was our love of storytelling and of writing. At the time, I was trying to break into fiction writing through historical fiction. Now, fast forward a few years, when BraveStarr came along, I was really taken with it, actually, especially the first movie. And I really liked 3030. Now, you got to understand, I had a horse, and I helped break horses, and I helped train horses. So I'm a horse person. So when 3030 came on, I told Rob, I said, I really like this series. I think I have an idea for a script. Of course, what am I going to do? I didn't know how to pitch a script. And so I asked him, do you think Arthur Nadell, who was head of the writing, would be interested in me pitching a story idea? And he said, I don't know. We'll try and give it a try and we'll see. So I gave the story idea for 3030 Goes Camping. And Rob brought it into Arthur and pitched it. And Arthur, it was a really nice guy. In fact, he actually came to our wedding. He and the others on the writing department actually were at our wedding. So Arthur said, okay, then give me a treatment. So I had to give an outline and a treatment of what the whole thing would be. So he liked that idea. So then I came in and I talked to him, and he said, okay, I want an outline. You go ahead and do the first, and then give me an outline and do the first draft. And so I went ahead and I did it. I contracted for freelance, and I was all excited. I'm finally going to get my break in writing. So I did the first draft of 3030 Goes Camping, and I turned it in. And of course, there's always revisions. When you're a work for hire, you have to do revisions. And so Arthur gave me the revisions that I had to do, and I had a week to do the revisions. Well, I actually turned the revisions in after like 3 days, and he was impressed. In fact, Rob told me later on that Arthur didn't think I would be able to pull it off, the revisions he was asking for. Not only did I pull off the revisions, I did better than he expected. So 3030 Go Camping was so good that Arthur said, hey, I'm going to use you on second season BraveStarr. I'm going to have you do some freelance scripts. So we started talking different ideas and pitching them about. Unfortunately, what none of us realized was a major Westinghouse decision that was about to come down. In fact, Rob was off for a week, and we were running some errands down in the San Fernando Valley, and we had our 8-month-old daughter with us. And he thought, well, let's go stop by the studio so I could pick up my paycheck. Well, we walked into Filmation, and I kid you not, everybody was pale as could be, subdued. Many were crying, and we were like, did somebody die? Did something happen to Lou or Hal Sutherland or even Arthur? I mean, we were trying to figure out what was going on. And we were told, well, you need to go upstairs and you need to talk to Barb Arkwright up in the storyboard department. Because Rob, by this time, went from writing back to storyboard. Well, we're still walking through the halls to the storyboard department, still wondering what's going on. And we hear crying coming out from offices, especially going by where Joyce Rivera and some of the others in the writing department were, and they were still upset. It wasn't until we got to the storyboard department that we see everybody's packing up. And Bob brought us into his office, and he gives us the news that Westinghouse has shut down Filmation. And he gave Rob an envelope, and in the envelope was not only his paycheck, but severance pay. And we all had 3 hours to clear the building. I mean, we were in utter shock. Like I said, I was talking to Arthur about second season BraveStarr. Here we are with our 8-month-old daughter. I went, what are we going to do now? Well, fortunately, we were able to then move, long story short, we were able to move from California to Tennessee, where we made a life there for 32 years. But all that to say is that's how I got my start. As bittersweet as it was, I started on one of the most popular series that there was at that time, because BraveStarr actually did well enough to get a second season until Westinghouse pulled the plug. So after that, I was able to go into writing fiction. And that you heard in my other video where I'm talking about writing a book for my daughter, which became the Outlawn series. So basically, authors get their writing chops started in a variety of ways. I just happen to be fortunate that my husband worked at a studio and the head writing department was actually kind enough to give me a shot.